So what have you heard so far?
So far, I've heard that there was a gun battle between the police and a young black male.
Now I heard somebody passed away.
I'm not
I heard
sure.
that on the news.
They haven't confirmed anything yet.
I'm not
Okay,
sure of any
okay.
of that. I'm just a bystander trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, but you were saying the stuff about living here for 57 years,
57
too.
years I've been living here and love Madisonville. Absolutely love it. That's why I've been here so many years.
Yeah.
I've just seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there was a turnaround a few years ago. It seemed like it was getting better. They were taking some of the youths off the street that caused problems, and here we go again with this.
But from your understanding, what was told to you, and this is not fact, but from what you've heard so far, what happened?
That a police officer and a black youth had a gun battle. That's all I know.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's all I know.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm hoping that he's not dead, and I'm hoping that the cop is all right also, and I'm just hoping for the best for both of them.
So he was a good young man from what you know of him
From
in the
what I
neighborhood?
know of Trey Pierre Hummus, he was a good young man.
Would do anything for people and
Would
help
do
out?
anything. Would help out. You know, he had a family. He was raising, he had children he was raising at his home. He always took up for me in school, and he was just a little brother.
Well, thanks. I appreciate you telling that. Hey, how you doing, Steve?
Good, how are you?
Okay.
It would have been better meeting you under different circumstances. I'm
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, OJ Hancock here. Minus the alcohol. No drinking or drugs with me.
Good.
Now, how long have you lived in the community?
I've lived in Madisonville since early 2000. So we bought our house back in 1999 and have lived here since.
Okay. So what kind of feel have you had since you've lived here? I mean, is it a pretty good neighborhood, or pretty pleasant, or have you had any difficulties living here?
No difficulties at all. It's a great neighborhood. It's an integrated neighborhood, and everybody gets along, and everybody that I know that lives here likes it here. So.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What do you think is the problem that's going on with so much tension around the country per se, with the African American community and police, the police department? What do you think is really going on?
I think the biggest problem is communication. I think there's a gap there, and once people get together and get to know each other, they realize that we all have much more in common than we have that separates us. And communication, I think, is the biggest problem. We need to begin to communicate to solve problems that separate the communities at the present time.
Right. I bet this feels funny being on the other end of this. Usually you're interviewing people, but now to have somebody talking to you.
And yeah, not accustomed to it being on this side of the camera and it being asked questions. So.
Right. But what do you think can possibly be a solution of all the tension that's going on? What is a possible solution between the police officers and the African American community?
It's got to be communication, because you have to realize that police officers are out there and they're there to serve the community, no matter what color the police officer is. Everybody wants to be safe in their neighborhoods, and so we all have something in common, and we have to get together to communicate that and realize that we're all in it together.
Great. I appreciate you talking to us a little bit.
You're very
really
welcome.
appreciate it. And your name?
My name is Angela Pearson.
Okay, so what happened out here today as far as you know?
As far as I know, a young black man who's never been in trouble, never been on probation, and we have what they call a jump-off parole officer.
What do you mean a jump-off parole officer?
Well, he goes around looking for the young men that's on parole. And a lot of times he jump out on them, okay? And a lot of times, I guess what happened today, that's what caused, situations like this.
Right.
But as far as I know, the young man has never been in no trouble. He's never been on probation. It's a possibility. It could be a mistaken identity. Okay? So why the young man had a gun, I don't know, but a lot of young men have never been in trouble. A lot of them carry guns because they're afraid for their life.
Right.
With another young black man that's out there in the streets, is out here killing people and shooting each other.
Right.
So that's the reason why a lot of these young black men is not involved in drugs. They carry guns too to protect themselves.
Right.
But the situation that happened today, we really don't have the validity yet. But as far as talking to some of the residents in Madisonville, the young man has never been in no trouble. And make me wonder, if he's never been in no trouble, okay, never been on probation, is this mistaken identity? This is something that the city needs to stop, sit down, and talk about. You know, and it's a tragedy that both were shot, and we don't know if neither one of them are deceased right now.
Well,
but
we just found out that the police officer did die.
the police officer died.
Yes.
Okay, I know the young man is still trying to live on,
Yes,
trying to
ma'am.
hang on, yeah. But I hate to see this, but you know, another thing is in Madisonville, Evanston, where black people live at, our children don't have nothing. Even in Madisonville, they have nothing to do in Madisonville. I remember in the early 70s, 60s, 70s, you know, after the Civil Rights Movement, you know, white folks moved out of Madisonville. Majority of them did.
Right.
They built suburban area communities out there, Tri-County, Ford Park, to get away. But when they left out of Madisonville, they took the economics out of Madisonville. You know, we have no infrastructure. Our city hall council is sitting there behind instead of trying to find a way to put money to develop Madisonville, taking our tax dollars, but not giving us nothing back. You know, it's sad, but we got European communities adjacent to Madisonville, and they have everything for their children. Their community is built up. You see what I'm saying? Ours is like it's blighted, you know?
Right.
We have nothing in our community.
Not even a swimming pool out here?
Well, we got a swimming pool, but the only thing, the recreation center, a lot of outside communities, white communities come in and use our facilities more than our children in the community.
Right.
They don't have a lot of programs for our children at the recreation center. They keep them occupied.
You're right.
You know, we need jobs for our youth. You know, it seems like they rather build more prison than to develop jobs for our young black men. You know, that needs to stop. And they wonder why our black men out here doing the things that they're doing. You know what I mean? The prison system.
Right.
Yeah, it's on the penitentiary is on the stock market. Corporation runs the stock market. And each state got to have a quota of bodies coming in and out like a revolving door. So what that tells you, is it all by design?
Right. It's a systemic system.
It's a system that is making money.
Right.
Everybody that goes in front of that job, in front of the judge, is a commodity where they retrieving dividends off of them every time they make a mistake or commit a criminal charge. They're going to go in front of that judge and go get sent to prison. Where things used to be a misdemeanor like child support, they done made it a felony.
Right.
Why is child support a felony? Why not a misdemeanor? Give them a chance to get at the phantom a job. But they're going to throw a felony on them where they can't get a job, then how they going to pay child support?
Right.
You see, this system is not designed for us as black people. You know, we fall into all the entrapments that they create for us where we can't rise up, where we can't achieve anything. Don't get me wrong, there's some blacks out there achieving things. But overall, with the biggest percentages out here, is struggling, trying to survive. No job. You see what I'm saying? So all I can say is that we as black people, we need to wake up, we need to come together and find a way that we can communicate with our young black men, because the annihilation got to stop. Because eventually we're going to need them. Look what happened with this young white boy killing 9 blacks in a church.
Right.
Now, you're going to tell me that if more of them start shooting us like that, we're going to need our young black men to help us.
Absolutely.
So we need to find a way, a strategy where we can convince these young black men they shooting the wrong people.
Right.
Stop shooting each other.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We're going to need them sooner or later.
You're right.
Okay?
Absolutely. So how long have you been a resident in Madisonville?
All my life.
All your life?
All my life.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.